قابض لایف شروع کو بج بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم. السلام علیکم و رحمت الله و برکاته. محمد وحید صدیقی صاحب شما آیت قرآن عظیم شان را بفرمایید، بعدا ما صحبت میکنیم.
اعوذ بالله من الشیطان الرجیم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم. الف لام را تلك آیات الكتاب المبین. إنا أنزلناه قرآنا عربيا لعلكم تعقلون. نحن نقص عليك أحسن القصص بما أوحينا إليك هذا القرآن وإن كنت من قبله لمن الغافلين. إذ قال يوسف لأبيه يا أبت إني رأيت 11 كوكبا والشمس والقمر رأيتهم لي ساجدين. قال يا بني لا تقصص رؤياك على إخوتك فيكيدوا لك كيدا إن الشيطان للإنسان عدو مبين. وكذلك يجتبيك ربك ويعلمك من تأويل الأحاديث ويتم نعمته عليك وعلى آل يعقوب كما أتمها على أبويك من قبل إبراهيم وإسحاق إن ربك عليم حكيم. لقد كان في يوسف وإخوته آيات للسائلين إذ قالوا ليوسف وأخوه أحب إلى أبينا منا ونحن عصبة إن أبانا لفي ضلال مبين. صدق الله العظيم.
درنو ورونو السلام علیکم و رحمت الله و برکاته. نن مونږ یو سپیشل میلمه لرو چې هغه پروفیسور جبرائیل یا تیتومی ویکس ده. مونږ سره غواړي په دې لایف کې شرکت وکړي. هیله مو دا ده چې هغه انشاءالله تاسو ته زر اوچت کو. اجازه راکړئ 2 منټ په انګریزي یا په انګلیش د خپل خبرې وکم او بیا پروفیسور پورته کو. Today we have with us an honorable person who made history. And nearly all Afghans know about his noble activity. He has a special place in Afghan hearts. It's really my honor to welcome Brother Gibrail, formerly known as a Mr. Tumiti Weeks. Professor Gibrail is an intellectual, academic, scholar, and continuously shows interest in enlightening Afghan youth through education. It's interesting to know about Brother Gibreel was imprisoned by the Mujahideen of Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan. He was released in a prison exchange arrangement with the Islamic Emirate after 3 years being kept hostage and returned to Sydney, Australia in November 2019. The one who made the history is with us today, and we would like to hear more about his journey from prison to Islam. Afghan Nation Peace Council is honored to have Brother Gibreel with us today in the Hatef Mokhtar channel. Let me, Mr. Gibreel, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum salam.
Mr. Gibreel.
Thank you for having me here, Dr. Mokhtar, and for giving me the opportunity to speak with you this evening.
You're always welcome, sir. I will translate in Pashto, in English, and our colleagues also will translate. Thank you, sir. Let me to raise our first colleagues. Please raise خپل پوښتنه وکړئ. تاسو سوال تاسو مطرح کړئ. وحید سوال ته مطرح کو که وقت فاصله میگیره. شما بفرمایید.
مایک معبود. Salam alaikum, Brother Gibreel. You are the most welcome.
Alaikum salam, Muhammad Wahid Sangaya.
Yeah, thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to ask a few questions. First of all, we are very happy and pleased that you are back home with full safety and security. That is a great pleasure for us that we see you back home in Australia safe and secure. I just want to ask you one of the questions. Please tell us and to the people who are watching us at the moment that most of the people, they want to ask you this question, that why did you go to Afghanistan and what you was doing there in Afghanistan? What was the main purpose of your going in Afghanistan?
I was working with the Timorese military for 4 years, and this was prior to my arrival in Afghanistan. I was working as an English teacher, and I was offered a position to work with the Americans of Afghanistan.
I can't hear.
Mr.
I accepted the position, and
Mr. Gibreel, your voice.
Sorry, do I need to?
Yeah, your voice is not clear. Can you check the internet? I hope the internet will go good.
Is that better?
Yeah, it's good now. It's good now. Please.
Is it better now?
It's better now. It's better now. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, so I had always had the desire to visit Afghanistan. I grew up and often visited my grandmother as a child, and she had on her wall a Persian carpet that depicted a scene from one of the kings of that area. And it always fascinated me as a child, and my grandmother used to speak a lot about it, and she used to say, one day you will go and visit these countries. So I was in Timor-Leste before I left to go to Afghanistan, and I'd been working there for 4 years when I was offered the position to work with the American University of Afghanistan. And after careful consideration, I decided to accept the position.
Thank you, Mr. Gibreel. Let me have some question from Nilufar Barikzai. Can you hear me, madam? If you have some questions from Mr. Gibreel, go ahead, madam.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi, Mr. Gabriel. I just have a quick question for you.
Yes, of course.
From your point of view and your experience with the Taliban, why do you think they have taken the arm, and what do you think motivates them to continue fighting and stay ground against the most powerful and most modern armies of the world?
Their absolute devotion to their cause is what motivates them to continue fighting, and their cause is the restoration of Afghanistan to the Afghan people, so that the Afghan people, after 40 years or possibly longer, excuse me if I'm incorrect with that, but after 40 years, that they are able to have control of their country back, and for foreign countries to leave it. And I think, you know, they are impassioned about not only their regaining Afghanistan, but also, you know, their dedication to Islam, of course, and that also helps them with their motivation. Allah gives them strength and support.
Thank you, Mr. Gabriel. There is one question which all people sending me this by message in WhatsApp. Let me to ask you this questions. Your journey from present to Islam is motivating. It would be interesting to know what inspired you to accept Islam.
I was inspired by the example that I saw set by the majority of my guards. So I had never spent a long time in the company of Muslim people. So this was my first experience. And even though many people may think it was quite difficult, I found even in the most difficult of times that there were guards who showed me compassion, who showed me mercy. I could see, you know, their dedication to their faith, you know, their strong belief in Allah. And when I sat back and I observed this for some time, I started to think about their commitment to God and their commitment through Islam. And in addition to this, I also myself, after I had been through a fairly difficult period, I wanted to give thanks to God. And as I spoke with my captors at the time, and I told them, I am making this decision because I want to give thanks to God, because he has taken care of me in this situation. And it was something that I spent a long time thinking about. It wasn't a decision that was made in one night. I spent a long time thinking about it, and it's a decision that I have never regretted.
دکتر صاحب میتونم امی جواب بسیار بریفلی یک چی کنم، ترجمه کنم به دری؟
یا پشتو اگر میتونید بکنید سوال دیگر مطرح کنید.
Brother Jibril, I want to interpret your answer in Dari very shortly and briefly.
Yes.
دکتر صاحب هاتف از برادر جبرائیل پرسان کرد که شما چی سبب شد که شما مسلمان شدین، از بندیخانه و تا اسلام آمدین. برادر جبرائیل ما بسیار زیاد نمیتو مختصر جواب زیاد به شما میگم. برادر جبرائیل گفت که سبب اسلام ما امو آداب و اخلاق و مهربانی، امو سکیوریتی، کسایی که در بندیخانه بودم و کسایی که سکیوریتی گارد ما بود و ساکر مجاهدین طالبای کسی که در چهار طرف ما بود، امو اخلاق و برتاو نیکوی از و مهربانی از سبب شد که ما فکر بکنم سر اسلام. و ما بسیار یک متشکر هستم از الله جل جلاله که الله جل جلاله لوکافتر مرا کرد و این دیسیژن هم که ما گرفتیم در یک روز یا در یک وقت نیست. ما بسیار زیاد وقت سر از این فکر زدیم و بعد از او ما امی دیسیژن خود گرفتیم و ما به دین اسلام روی آوردم. دکتر صاحب بفرمایید.
Yes, Mr. Gabriel, you have another questions. شما دارین بفرمایید، سوال دارین. Mr. Hasna Khan, please. 1 minute, Miss Hasna Khan, you have a questions, please. Hasna Khan, please, if you have a questions, please.
Sister Husna, your mic is off.
Mr. Wahid, you ask. Mr. Wahid, you ask. Is computer not working?
Hello. Assalamualaikum.
Yes, welcome.
Yes.
Ibrahim.
Alaikum salam.
I hope you are fine and doing well.
Thank you.
I would
Alhamdulillah.
like to ask a question from you. Please walk us through a thought on your thoughts and feeling about Taliban.
That is a very big question. Of course, I have a lot of differing thoughts and feelings about the Taliban. I have logically some negative feelings because I spent 3.5 years away from my family and friends. That was very difficult for me. I lost my mother during that period. She died without me being able to speak to her. At times, our captivity, I mean, we were held in a prison. And a prison is a prison. Whether, the guards are merciful and compassionate, we are still in a prison. It's prison conditions. So it was very difficult. But, I mean, I always kept my mind open. I always tried to interact with my guards and as much as possible to take advantage of the situation I was in. So you might think, how can one take advantage of being in a prison? Well, when you're in a prison, you have a lot of time to think. And that led me to Islam, and my interactions with my guards also led me to Islam. My views towards the Taliban change continuously. I cannot say that I understand completely or that I know completely. I had very little knowledge when I went to Afghanistan. So I have spent a lot of time since I've come out reading books and interacting with people, for example, on Twitter. I feel that the Taliban are dedicated to the peace process, and I know in my heart that negotiations are the only way to go forwards. So, my feeling with the Taliban at times is almost like brotherhood. I have a very good relationship with Anas, and Anas, I'm proud to call him a friend of mine. I only judge him as I know him in interaction with him as a person, and this is where I stop at the moment. That is all I require. I know that many people condemn the Taliban for their actions, but I think that looking in the past, there is no way that the solutions to Afghanistan's problems are going to be found in the past. We have to move forward, and no matter what we think or feel, negotiations must be entered into and completed to bring peace and security back to Afghanistan.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Wahid, you have questions or you want to translate?
No, I have another question. My second question is from you, Brother Jibrail, that how and why do you think you were kidnapped? And were you alone when you were kidnapped, or someone else was with you? We believe someone else was with you as well.
Yes, I was kidnapped with a fellow English teacher. His name was Kevin King. And he and I were kidnapped as we left the university on August the 8th at approximately 8:15 p.m. We left the university. And we were taken directly in front of the university. So I have been told that the people who kidnapped us were part of a criminal gang and that they operate in Kabul and they look for potential kidnapping victims. Kevin and I were taken very, very easily. So when I think about how this occurred, the only thing that I can say in regards to that was the people were very well connected. They had it very well planned, and they knew who we were and why they wanted us. So I can't exactly speak for the people who took us, but I believe that they took us as part of their criminal activities or their activities to take hostages to pass them on to a third party.
Okay. So you believe that the first party was Taliban?
Mr. Gabriel, thank you, Wahid. Mr. Gabriel, can you please tell to our audience and to all publics which they are hearing you and listening to you now, what Islam gives to you and what Islam takes from you?
Yeah, Islam gave me peace when I was in a very difficult situation. Times I didn't know whether I was going to live the next 5 minutes, and it was my faith in God, and later this became my faith in Islam. I mean, I have always believed that there is only one God. And then in 2018, on the 5th of May 2018, I accepted Islam. I found succor and condolence in the prayers, particularly when we were in difficult situations. If you ask what Islam took from me, I don't think the religion really has taken anything from me. It gives me more than it takes. And for me, I am now attending Islamic lessons in a mosque here in Sydney with the Imam. I'm only a new Muslim, so my knowledge is not great, but I really enjoy going to the mosque. I enjoy praying. I enjoy learning about Islam and about the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and that is enough for me at the moment.
Mr. Gabriel, let me to ask you one question. What you learning some Arabic or some pray? I want you recite some part of Quran or kalima for us. We really want to listen from you.
Okay, I actually started to learn Arabic at the university here, and I did one course, a big course, and I started to learn that also because I want to learn Pashto. That's a great desire of mine as well, to practice my Pashto. I can recite one of the ayats from the Quran, but you'll please forgive me because
yes.
I don't know whether my pronunciation is very good, but I will try to do it for you with humility.
Sir, please, sir. We are really inspired by you. We really love you, sir. Please go ahead.
Kul huwallahu ahad, Allahus samad, lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Yes, ask a question, Wahid.
Brother Jibrail, I have one more question from you, and then I will leave the other brothers to ask you questions. And please tell us about your first days and thoughts of your captivity and the people who captive you, and what were you thinking, what may happen to you, and what was going on?
The first 2 weeks that I was in captivity, I mean, it was a very, very difficult time. The abduction that took place out the front of the university, I was left in a state of shock probably for at least 48 hours when my brain basically shut down because of the fear at the time. It was very difficult because, as I said, I didn't have a great knowledge about Afghanistan or the situation at the time. And although I had done a little research into the security, the only knowledge that I had in my head were old grainy videos that I had seen on television of captives being held, 10 years ago. And of course, other video footage of captives who were held by Daesh. So I was in great fear, and we were moved steadily at the beginning, again and again and again and again. And every time we were moved, as you know, not only for me, but anybody who moves around in these remote and isolated areas, they are at risk of attack. And whether that attack comes from the police or the Afghan government or ISI or Daesh or anybody else, it's a very unsafe area to be moved around in. And I very quickly learned this. As we started to get to know our captors a little bit, and as we started to have regular guards who were with us for extended periods of time, I started to build a bond with these gentlemen, and that helped me greatly. They showed me a great amount of compassion and mercy. And in the early days, I believed that, that we would be released quite quickly and that the American government would step in and would negotiate for our release. That was what everyone expected. We would be there for 10 days. Little did I know that it would extend to 1,196.
Thank you, Mr. Wahid. Let me ask Nahid Amiri. Assalamu alaikum. Please, questions.
Assalamu alaikum. I have a question that some politicians said that Muslims hate the Western way of life. Do you think that's true? And do you think there's such a clash of civilization between the West and Islam?
Well, I'm having a conversation with you at the moment, Nahid and Doctor and Mohammed Wahid. I'm fairly reflective of Western society, in so much that I grew up in a country where we have a very, very small Islamic population. But alhamdulillah, Australia teaches diversity in religion and diversity in culture and diversity in race. So I'm very lucky to grow up in this country. I will certainly say that even here in Australia, we see many examples of Islamophobia, particularly at times within our media. And I find this shocking myself, but you have to remember that media always looks to promote their own interests, and they rarely judge people with compassion and mercy. Go on.
Mr. Gabriel, so many people want to translate, and we will translate for them after we will translate all things. But now let we have for a while Mr. Gabriel with us, and we know all Afghan love him. We know that much. And there's a questions, Mr. Gabriel, I want to ask you from Mr. Hamid from New Zealand. He raised a questions. From your point of view and your experience, the Taliban, why do you think they have taken arm, and what do you think motivate them to continue fighting in the ground against the most powerful and the most modern armies of the world?
I often had this conversation with my guards, and especially towards the end when my release was in sight. And I believe it was September. Just let me see if I can get this right. Released in August. Towards the end of our period in incarceration, President Trump, who was involved with the negotiations, he pulled back from the talks. And I believe that he made a statement saying that we will wipe Afghanistan off the face of the map. I was worried that this would enrage my guards, but instead they came and sat and talked with me, and they were quite peaceful and quite calm. And they said, and one of the guards said to me, this is what happens. My brother is fighting now for the future of Afghanistan. When he dies, I will fight. And when I die, my son will fight for Afghanistan. So these people see it not even as a choice. These people see it as part of their life. They support Afghanistan, and they want Afghanistan to have its independence and to not be occupied by foreign powers or controlled in other methods by foreign powers. So the Taliban, Hamid, in New Zealand, they will not stop fighting until there is the withdrawal of foreign troops from Afghanistan.
Mr. Wahid, you have questions? Because the raise of the questions with us, I will ask Mr. Wahid, please.
I had one question, but you already answered that. How were you treated while you was in captivity? If you give some extra explanation that how the people, the Taliban was dealing with you, how was your food, how was your water, how was your sleeping place, and things like this. If you give some more details, please.
Yes, of course. I've already commented that we were held in a prison, so the conditions were difficult. Added to that was the fact that we were kept in a very, very isolated area. So access form of medicine, variety of food, even at times fresh vegetables and fruit. I mean, we were held up in the mountains and in the middle of winter. It's not only the same for me, it's the same for everybody who lives in these areas. In the middle of winter, we had no way, or the guards had no way to get to the bazaar. Sometimes the guards would walk for several kilometers through the snow to get to the bazaar, to get rations to feed us and to feed themselves. So they tried their best. But at times, as I'm saying, the conditions were very, very difficult. And I'm not going to paint a bright picture of it. It has had a severe effect on my health, both physically and mentally. And at the moment, I'm having treatment for various, physical conditions. But I was also able to see through this bleakness, through the isolation, the strength and I had some wonderful guards and who really interacted with me 24 hours a day. They were always asking me, how are you? What can we do? Can we help you? But again, I don't want to paint the picture that everything is 100% rosy. Of course, in every aspect of the world, you will find good people and bad people. And the same is in the Taliban. There are, of course, some who I got on with very, very well, but there were some who were very difficult. And, that is life, I suppose.
Let me ask some question from public, and if I able, I will be translating for you, sir. Mr. Asad Khan, مهرباني وکړئ. مهرباني وکړئ ورونو دا وروسته موږ ترجمه کوو. مهرباني وکړئ. اسد خان.
السلام علیکم ورحمت الله وبرکاتو. ډاکټر صاحب تاته او محمد ولی ورور ته او جبرائیل ورور ته ټولو ته نیکې هیلې وړاندې کوم. جبرائیل ورور ستړی مه ښه جوړې په خیر یې. پښتو باندې پوهېږې، زه په پښتو خبرې کوم، بیا ترجمه په انګلیسي باندې ورته وکړه. ډاکټر صاحب زما انګلیسي
پوښتنه دې مختصر که پښتنه دې مختصر که مهرباني.
زما پوښتنه ستا څخه دغه د جبرائیل وروره چې ته په افغانستان کې د طالبانو سره قید وې او تا د طالبانو هغه اسلامي محمدي اخلاق دې ولیدی او لاړې خپل ملکونو ته بیرته، هلته دغه بین الاقوامي میډیا تا ته ولې کوریج دونې نه درکوي، دونې په دنیا کې مشهوره نه کړلې چې د طالبانو هغه اسلامي اخلاق چې کوم دی، محمدي اخلاق چې تا دنیا ته بیان کړی وای؟
پښتنه د ډیر غټ ده. مننه ساده. وحید صدیقی ترجمه کو.
Brother Jibrail, there's Brother Khan give you salam first. He present for you salam first in the prayer, and then after that he asks you that when you was in Afghanistan, especially with the Taliban and the Taliban's captivity, and when you see the good, the kindness and compassion of Taliban and the compassion of the Deen, the religion of Islam and the teachings of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So when you went back, when you are now in Australia and when you have got international media, can you please broadcast this and say this, show this teaching of Prophet Muhammad, good, nice, kind and teaching of Islam and Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to the whole world.
Assalamu alaikum, Himat Said Sangaya. Thank you for your question. I would like to let you know that I often speak up to support the peace process and the Taliban's commitment to this peace process in my Twitter account. I gave several interviews when I first came back to Australia, and basically I talked about the time that I'd spent in incarceration and that I held no ill wishes against any of my guards during that time. I am in constant contact with members of the Taliban, whether they be in Pakistan, Afghanistan, Qatar, and I have a great love for many of these brothers who support me and who speak to me and encourage me in the peace process. And I would also like to say that I don't restrict myself to only speaking with the Taliban. I speak also to many civilians who work within the government in Afghanistan. I speak to soldiers, I speak to policemen. For me, I want to promote peace to all of Afghanistan, and I am more than happy to raise my voice and to help with this process. At times, people call me the Taliban puppet. They say that I'm controlled by the Taliban, but nobody controls what I do. I control what I do. I may seem at times more biased towards the Taliban point of view, but I spent 3.5 years with them, so I have a very close connection still to them. I don't have Stockholm syndrome. I am not speaking because I have a mental disease that forces me to have this reaction to my captors. I have great love for them, and I've spent time in Qatar with members of the Taliban, and for example, in my Twitter account, I have many supporters from the Taliban and many Taliban members. I speak to people, as I said, from Peshawar. I speak to Zubayullah Mujahid,
Zabiullah
Mujahid.
Zabihullah. Yeah, Zabiullah. Yes, we know your Pashto completely.
Yeah, all of these people give me, wonderful support. They send me messages for Eid, and I'm quite happy to continue my work and to continue my relationship with the Taliban. I'm not only am I happy, but my government is well aware of my relationship with the Taliban and its leaders, and they are also supportive of me in this role.
Let me ask Mr. Maiwan Sarbaz, please go ahead for 1 minute and make your ستاسو غږ راځي دا پوښتنه مو ډیر مختصر کړئ. پوښتنه مو مختصر کړئ.
زه به په پښتو کې به کوم اول کې بیا
په انګریزي کې وکړه، په پښتو کې جوړو. ته انګریزي کې وکړه، مننه وکړئ. دا میلمه مو ده، مهرباني.
د عادل خدای په سپیشل نامه دڼو هیوادوالو د امونه تر باسینه پورې زما دڼه او سلامونه ومنئ. زه به انګلیسي کې د مشر نه وکړم،
انګلیسي نه پوښتنه وکړئ، خو ویې کوئ د امو اباسین به اوس پرېږدو، دغه پوښتنه مطرح کړئ.
ما سلام غونډه ده که نه ډاکټر صاحب؟
صحیح.
I have one question for the Mr. Jibra Saib. Jibra Saib, have you read about Pentagon and Shampa Khalilzad when he designed in 1992 DPG, Defense Policy Guidance, which have been written in Afghanistan Untold Story and his book? What do you see the DPG rule in Afghanistan? Have you read about it? Do you know about that? I want to know from you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. question. I'm sorry, but my knowledge about the
Yeah,
DPG is
that's fine. That's fine. Actually, such a question is out of context. That's not our policy for today. We are asking some Islamic and your experience and your relationships with Taliban, your relationship with Islam, your faith. That's not politics for today. Kindly tell me
Dr.
what.
Hatef, I have approximately 10 minutes at the most
Yes,
left.
of course.
because
I have noted your time. Let me ask you some questions because you have a good experience and people of Afghanistan loving you and respecting you, and you are our brother, and we consider you as our own brother. Islam teach and taught us whenever someone say La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, they are our brother. And we love you. There's one brother asked from Argentina. He asking you, but there are so many questions. Some of them I will ask from you. They ask, do you think the Afghan government can survive without the support of US and NATO? It's according to your experience.
If you're referring to the funds that the US government provides at the moment, I believe that I have seen various articles written saying that if funding was pulled out completely, that the Afghan government would collapse.
Exactly. Thank you. Mr. Hamid, we have 10 minutes, 9 minute. Mr. Hamid Said Mirabani Upi. Mr. Mansoor, Assalamu alaikum. Tasu Mirabani Upi. Mr. Mansoor?
Hello?
Yes, Mr. Mansoor, yes.
Assalamu alaikum, Jibreel, sir. How are you?
Alaikum salam.
First of
Jody.
all, I want to say that all people of Afghanistan really respect you and really love you, including me. And I really respect you from the bottom of my heart. I just want to ask a simple question what is your understanding of an Islamic government based on the Sharia law? Do you think the Western countries are unnecessarily standing on the way of Muslim established government on the basis of Islamic Sharia? If yes, what is the solution for this so-called clash of civilization? Thank you so much.
Thank you for your question, Mansoor. I think one of the biggest problems that we have in our dealings with countries is that we don't understand the religion of Islam, and we don't, in addition, understand the culture in various countries throughout the world. Cutting and pasting a political system from a Western democracy will never work in Islamic countries. And I believe that one of the biggest problems that the NATO and the US forces made coming into Afghanistan is they wanted to push Afghanistan to become, you know, like a Western democracy. And this will never happen. I mean, they had no understanding of the culture of Afghanistan. And in particular, they had no understanding of the Pashtun people, who have an incredibly rich and long history of culture and tradition. And in combination with the fact that it is an Islamic country, they made a very large mistake right from the outset. So I think that, you know, any countries that continue to stay and work within Afghanistan really need to reassess the way that they treat the people, the culture of Afghanistan, and the Afghan people as Muslims.
Two questions, then our 10 minutes will complete. Some of our audience, they want that Mr. Gabriel give some speech, some words about Islam.
Oh, it's difficult to speak about these things.
Just say just say whatever. Yes. Say every words is direct sitting in our hearts. you're transferring and giving, enlightening us. Please, sir.
I find that Islam, for me, and Islam, I suppose it is different for every single person, their relationship with God. But Islam, for me, it helps to guide me in my life, and it helps to give me instruction. It gives me stability. It gives me, it helps me with my faith, and it gives me great hope in the future. And I think, when things become very difficult for me, I find a lot of solace in my faith.
Let me my last questions. My brother, because Mr. Jibril have some short time, so if one of our colleagues, Mr. Kiliwal, please ask your questions.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam.
Alaikum salam.
جناب ډاکټر صاحب جبرائیل ورور ډیر ډیر سلامونه الله پاک دی او کې
They are saying much greeting to you and loving you, everyone. I don't know what you did with our people. They all loving you.
د موږ ډیر خوږ ورور د دې ورته مبارکي وایم چې د ډیر ستونزو کړهونو ډک
They congratulate you and they are welcoming you. And they congratulate you that you accept Islam also. Yeah, مهرباني وکړئ.
او په دې دعا ورته کوم چې په راتلونکي ژوند کې الله تعالی دې په همدې باندې استقامت نصیب کړي او همداسې خوشحاله ژوند ورته نصیب شي. پوښتنه مې ترېنه دا ده چې په دغه د بند په موده کې د طالبانو د کوم شي نه دی ډېر متاثره شو، کوم عمل نه، کوم عکس العمل نه دی ډېر متاثره شو چې اسلام ته راغی او یوه خوږه خاطره یا یوه ترخه خاطره که موږ سره شریکه کړي. نو دغه مې دوی نه غوښتنه ده.
There's the same questions over and over, but from different zone, everyone has different idea. They say during your time with the Taliban, when you was imprisoned there, say something what has really inspired you. And there's some short memory and a beautiful memory you have. Of course, 3.5 years you was there. Something you never said before.
I will comment about one of the guards that we had for quite an extended period of time, and I'm not going to say his name here, but he was a lovely young man in his 20s, and he was with us for around a year and a half. And during that time, I would watch him. He, in his spare time, would spend sitting and studying and reading. He was pious, and I was, because I come from a country where we don't see strong religious beliefs here in Australia. We're quite devoid of this. So for me, when I came and I was exposed to the Taliban, it blew my head away when I saw, their absolute belief in Allah. They were never scared. They were so sure of what they were doing. And this one guard, in the whole time he spent with us, never once did he raise his voice to us. Never once did he speak impolitely. Never once did he leave us unattended when he knew we needed something. And at times he would come and spend time with us because he knew how difficult. He was one of my greatest inspirations for accepting Islam.
Thank you, Mr. Gibril. Just for 2 minutes more. امیر به ترجمه کو به فارسی که بعض مردم به فارسی روان میکنن. ترجمه.
ما ترجمه کنم دکتر صاحب؟
بله بفرمایید. مردم میگه ترجمه.
برادر جبرائیل گفت که ما یک خاطره بسیار خاص و اسپیشال دارم. او این است که وقتی که من در بندیخانه بودم تقریبا 1 سال یا 2 سال گفت یک بچه آمد که یک گارد، یک سکیوریتی گارد به من موظف شد که 20 سال عمر داشت. این بچه گفت بسیار زیاد متقی بود، بسیار زیاد با خدا بود. ما گفت هیچ وقتی تو یک بچه جوان در استرالیا، ما هیچ وقتی تو کسای جوان و عقیدتمند به الله جل جلاله به دین یا به مذهب نداریم. این بچه بسیار زیاد گفت مرا امیزینگ بود به ما که گفتی همیشه درس میخوان و بسیار زیاد با تقوا بود، بسیار زیاد استرانگ، بسیار زیاد قوی بچه بود. هیچ وقت در ظرف وقت مدتی که 1 سال تا 2 سال که همراه ما بود، هیچ وقت با آواز بلند همراه ما گپ نزده، هیچ وقت قطیما کدام عمل بی‌نزاکتی نکرده و هیچ وقت ما را تنها نماند. همیشه همراه ما بود و همیشه این کتیبا کمک میکرد. اینمی یک خاطری بسیار چی بود که مرا بسیار زیاد به تعجب آورده بود.
Mr. Jibril, thank you very much. I want to, if you have any message for Afghan people, for your brother and for your sister, for your brother and sister across the world, for entire Muslim Ummah, we want to hear this, sir. Please.
I urge the people of Afghanistan to continue to work towards peace, to support the intra-Afghan talks, and to work with the office in Qatar, who have been doing an incredible job. All of the senior negotiators who are stationed in Qatar are working round the clock at the moment in negotiations with the representatives from Qatar and Afghanistan. In addition, there are many, many people on the ground who are supporting this peace process, both within Afghanistan and, for example, in the neighboring country of Pakistan. So it is going to take some time. It is not going to happen overnight, but these first steps are being made at the moment, and inshallah, they will lead to a ceasefire and the return of peace to the land of Afghanistan. I hope that it is soon, because my heart is in Afghanistan and I really, really want to come back. So I would like to say thank you to all of the people who have supported me, all of those that I interact with on Twitter. Some of them are like my sons, you know, they're always chatting to me. Those in Peshawar, those in Quetta, those all around the country. So I continue to support you and the people of Afghanistan as you move towards peace. Thank you very much for your time, Doctor, and Wahid, thank you for inviting me, and I look forward to coming and speaking here again.
We are absolutely waiting for you. We absolutely loving you. And
Thank you, Doctor.
and thank you for your brief interview, and thank you for your passion. Please take care of your health. Please keep going to doctor, and please take care of your health. Good food, good energy, and keep in touch. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Have a very beautiful evening, sir. Have a very beautiful. زه ورونه به سپورت کم اجازه را کوي چې دا ورور هر څوک چې پورته کوي پورته کوي. السلام علیکم و رحمت الله و برکاته. زه په 15 منټو کې خپل لایف مونږ ختمو. سیکولرانو او کمونستانو او هغه خلک چې د طالبانو په اسلامی نظام پسې او د طالبانو په اسلامی امارت پسې یا د طالبانو په اسلامی تحریک پسې یا د طالبانو په اخلاق پسې تبلیغات سو کوي. تاسو ولید چې یو خارجي او یو هغه شخص چې کافر وو اسلام ته ځان تسلیم ک او مسلمان سو، هغه هم د طالب د اخلاق باندې گواهی ورکوي. هغه هم وایي چې طالب داسې یو حقیقت ده. تاسو به د د انټرویو په الفاظ نه پوه، ما ته دومره ژړا راغی چې ما نسو کولی د ده نه انټرویو واخلم. دومره د اسلام او د مسلمانانو د اخلاق او د طالبانو د اخلاق نه دومره متاثر وو چې هېڅکله نسم داسې یو موضوع زه بیخي نسم ویلی. تاسو باور وکړئ چې ما ته شرم راغی چې یو کافر د طالب نه دومره متاثر ده او زموږ خپل ورور طالب سي خبرې کوي. تاسو لاړ شئ 3.5 کاله دی او طالب سره وو او طالب نه اخلاق زده کړی، طالب نه مینه زده کړی، طالب نه محبت زده کړی.
ډاکټر صاحب
تاسو صرف وګورئ چې یو سړی چې تر پرونه په خدای ایمان نه درلود د طالب سره څنګه مینه لري. د طالب په حقانیت باندې شک مه کوئ. د طالب د خو خاورې ته هم احترام وکړئ او ورسره مینه وکړئ. طالب تاسو دپاره ازادۍ او خپلواکۍ وګټل. تاریخ هیڅکله به دا هیر نه کړي. مهرباني وکړئ که څه ورور څه وایي موږ لایف یو دقیقه کې بندوو.
السلام علیکم ډاکټر صاحب محترم او نور ټول ملګري. د جبریل ورور سره ما غوښتل چې خبرې وکړم خو تاسو پورته نه کړم متاسفانه او د ما ډېر ارمان و.
خیر بیا راځي.
سمه ده بیا به انشاءالله زه غواړم تاسو ته ووایم چې د جبریل ورور که مسلمان شوی دا د ټولو موږ ټولو لپاره یو افتخار ده.
دا نومونه نه ښکاري حافظه، دا نومونه د ورونه نه ښکاري. یا سمیر احمد صاحب مهرباني وکړئ، هیله مو دا ده چې مختصر خبرې وکړئ.
مختصر خبرې کوم. دا موږ ټولو لپاره افتخار دی او د تاسو لپاره هم افتخار ده. موږ تاسو په افغانستان کې جنجال لرو، هغه هم مسلمانان دي. تاسو که د جبریل لپاره زاړئ یاست دلته چې کوم مسلمانان وزن د هغو لپاره هم وزاړئ.
هغه دوی دپاره هم زاړو. زموږ لایف مه تحریفوئ. تاسو نه یو نړۍ مننه، تاسو نه یو نړۍ مننه. زموږ لایف مه تحریفوئ. موږ د جبرائیل دپاره ځکه زاړو چې هغه د اسلام دین یې منلی او د طالب په حقانیت شهادت ورکوي. د سیکولرانو او د کمونستانو زمنو راسئ وګورئ د اسلام اخلاق، راسئ وګورئ د یو سپېڅلی طالب اخلاق. زده یې کوئ ورنه، زده یې کوئ. د اسلام نه طالب مخ، طالب شخصیت، د طالب وجدان اسلامی ده. بناءً طالب نه زده کوئ.
دکتر صاحب یک چیز من میخوایم یاد دکتر صاحب محترم یک چیز من میخوایم یادآوری کنم همینجا. جبرائیل برادر جبرائیل خودش به حیث یک پروفیسور در یونیورسیتی در فاکولته درس میده در پوهنتون. لیکن او گفت که یک خاطری بسیار خاص که من بسیار زیاد متعجب شده بودم در افغانستان و سرما بسیار یک اثر خاص کرده بود. اوی بود که یک 20 ساله یک طالب 20 ساله بچه جوان که به او اخلاق از او رقم سرما اثر کرد که بیخی ما هیچ امروز میگه فراموش کردن امیر گفتم
همینجا باش. حیدر ورور تسلری مهربانی وکړه. حیدر جان
السلام علیکم ډاکټر صاحب، تاسو ته بل ورته او جبرائیل ورور د منګه خبرې اوري. جبرائیل ورور ته سلامونه او احترامات باندې کوم.
چې جبرائیل ورور مریض و، مونږ ته ویلې مونږ وخت ورکوو، هیڅ چاته وخت نه ورکول. مریض و، دوا یې خوړل، ځکه مونږ ته ویلې تاسو په خاطر راغلم. مهرباني وکړه حیدر.
دا خو د جبرائیل ورور خو دا خو ډېر ځای د افتخار و. د کې ډېر لوی پیام که د خیاطان سکشویان کمونستان پوسي چې او کافر راغلی د مسلمان له اخلاقو متاثره سوی ده، بس اسلام یې منلی ده او طالب ته د حقانیت په سترګه ګوري، دغو حقانیت مني. افسوس ډېر په هغو خلکو کومه چې د مسلمان په نامه دي او بیا مرتدین سوي دي، له دین اوښتي دي، کفارو ته یې لاس ورکړی د دې ورته ډېر لوی پیام پروت و، ډېر لوی مسیج یې ورکړه. کاش چې دوی لږ عبرت ترې واخلي، دوی ته لږ د فن او سبب وګرځي. نو دا خو ډېر جای د شرم ده، ډېر جای د افسوس ده چې یو کافر راځي طالب مني، د طالب حقانیت مني، اخلاق مني او دلته په نامه مسلمانان د طالب مخالفت کوي. دا دوی ته ډېر د افسوس خبره ده، د افسوس ځای ده. دوی ته زه غواړم چې دغه جبرائیل ورور له خبرو څخه دوی عبرت واخلي. او ډاکټر صاحب که په آینده کې جبرائیل ورور راځي نو بس تاسې راولئ، دا به ډېر ښه وي. دا
جبرائیل ورور انشاءالله زموږ په سټډیو کې به موږ سره همکار وي او بیا به راځي او موږ انشاءالله د نورو شخصیتونو نه چې د اسلام د دین لپاره کار کوي موږ به انشاءالله دعوت وکړو. یو خبره تاسو ته په څرګند وکم، دا د خدای د رضا دپاره کوم او د هیڅ چا نه نه ډارېږم. حاضر یم چې ټول عمر مزدوري وکم او د طالب بوټان پاکم او کالی د طالبانو ومینځم، خو یو ورځ د د داسې یو منفور دولت سره کار ونه کړم یو ورځ یوه دقیقه هم ورسره کار ونه کړم طالب نازېږم طالب مې په ځیګر ناست ده طالب باندې فخر کوم طالب سره مینه لرم طالب سره د زړه مینه لرم تاسو ولید د انګریز و ورسئ زده کړئ ورنه چې انګریز هغه راځي د طالبانو په صداقت او په ایمان باندې شهادت ورکړي او د دوی په اخلاقو باندې شهادت ورکړي تاسو دپاره دومره کفایت نه کوي مننه وروره حیدر وروره ډیره مننه دا ورور عزیزي صاحب مهرباني وکړئ موږ یو ورور ته وخت ورکوو بیا لایف بندوو چون نن ما د جمعې ورځ ده همدغومره حیدر وروره ډیره مننه پاک الله مو خوشحاله او آباد لره عزیزي وروره مهرباني وکړئ
السلام علیکم ورحمت الله وبرکاتو وروره تاسو ته او نور سټوډیو کې څوک د یار څوک زما غږ اوري سلامونه او احترامات وړاندې کوم
پاک الله مو
زه خپله اصل کې په دې تمه دلته جوین شوم چې د جبرائیل ورور نه یوه پوښتنه درلوده خو بس متاسفانه چې هغه اوس فعلا نشته نو په مخه یې ښه وي یوه بله نقطه یاداوري کوم که مې اجازه وي هسې خپل نظر مې دی دا خو واقعیت دی چې جبرائیل او یار څوک نور چې وي دا د طالبانو د اخلاقو نه متاثره شوي دي که نه دا واقعیت دی نو یعنې دوی په زور نه دی کړی یعنې هر څه انسان چې دی موږ متل لرو چې د احسان تابع دی نو زما یادونه دغه ده چې موږ تاسې احترامانه هیله ده البته چې د دې ځینو لغاتو د استعمال څخه باید محتاط اوسو لکه مرتد مثلا سیکولر او ځینې نور ځینې کسان که چېرته زمونږ یا د بل چا د نظر سره مخالف وي کم اندازه مخالف وي په ځینو شیانو کې نو دا طبیعي خبره ده د دوی حق ده چې مخالفت وکړي په ځینو برخو کې
د مرتد خبره چا دلته نه ده کړی د مرتد خبره چا نه ده کړی
دا یو پیغام
د پیغام د بیا بل ورځ ورکه او د سیکولر مونږ د سیکولر مخالف یو او د سیکولر علمي مخالف یو د سیکولریزم په افغانستان کې هیڅ ځای نه لري سیکولریزم او کمونیزم ماتریالیزم فاشیزم دا ټول مونږ ته په یو صف کې ده مونږ په یو ازم باندې باور لرو چې هغه اسلام ده او هماغه باندې نازېږو مننه وروره که نور څه نه لرې مهرباني وکړئ ورور اسد خانه مختصر خبرې دې وکړه چې لایف قطع کوو
ډاکټر صاحب ډېر بښنې څخه زه بیا رالم ډېر خوندور لایف زه غواړم چې د محمد وحید ورور کوم سوال چې ما د جبرائیل څخه کړی و هغه ډېرې خبرې زما پر سوال وکړلې خو په پښتو چې وسي چې دا
وروسته موږ ترجمه کوو وروسته دغه پروګرام موږ د شارټ ویډیو جوړو ټولو نه ترجمه کوو او خلکو ته ورکوو
پر هغه خلکو باندې افسوس پر هغه خلکو باندې راځي چې یو انګریز د استرالیا څخه راځي په افغانستان کې زما د محمدي اخلاق څخه متاثره کیږي اسلام قبلوي او ته زما ورور په افغانستان کې راسره اوسېږي زما سره نه متاثره کېږي زما سره نه مني او دغه طرف نیولی چې هغه پر مخالفه دي افسوس خو دغه خلکو پر حال باندې ډاکټر صاحب زه نور ویل نه غواړم ډاکټر صاحب ښه وخت درته غواړم د جمعې ورځ هم ده
ورونه دا لایف ځان سره شیر کوي دا په مسؤلیت ځان سره شیر کوي هر چیرې چې ورونه دا لایف شیر کوي د خدای د رضا دپاره شیر کوي او شیر یې کوي چې دا ورونه وګوري ورونه نور ما وچتوئ قاري صاحب عیسی نجیب الله نجیب قاری صاحب عیسی نجیب الله نجیب مهرباني وکړئ
السلام علیکم ورحمت الله وبرکاتو
مختصر وروره که څه لرې ووایه چې نن د جمعې ورځ ده بیا به وروسته شپې وګورو که لایف ده
ډاکټر صاحب بس نور کوم دی ډېر دغه نه خاص خبره نه درلودله بس
دومره ډېر سخت ژړا راغی د ده خبرې که په انګریزي کې تاسو پوهېدئ چې دا څه ویلې بیخي مهرباني وکړه وروره
ډاکټر صاحب ستا عقیدې ته ستا عزم ته موږ دولاسي سلام دی چې دغه خلک چې ګوره د نبي کریم صلی الله علیه وسلم په دور کې صحابه کرام چې به کومه د کفارو علاقې ته ورغله نو اول به یې دا پیغام ورکړي ول موږ په شان زندګي اختیار کړئ چې موږ کوم ژوند کوو موږ سره کوم اخلاق لرو موږ د اسلام په دایره کې چې څنګه ژوند کوو تاسې هم زموږ رقم سئ نو دغه مقصد دا اوس یعنی اسلام یو اخلاق لري اسلام یو داسې دغه لري چې د نبي علیه السلام و ژوند ته به کفارو کتل اسلام به یې قبلوي د ده د ژوند څخه متاثره سو د صحابه کرامو د ژوند د دوی د اعمالو څخه متاثره کېدل او اسلام به یې قبلوي لکه څنګه چې موږ تاسو ته ګوره د 1400 کاله بعد الحمدلله چې موږ تاسو فخر دی د طالب یو زندگی و یو کافر ته داسې ګرځي.
دا چې څه رقم ویلي هغه الفاظ زه ترجمه کولی نسم، په هغه الفاظو چې دی ویلي زه به هېڅکله زما هغه توان مې نه و چې ترانسلیټ یې کړم من حیث د یو مسلمان بیخي مې ونه سو کولی.
ډاکټر صاحب دغه یو په یو څو ټکو کې په پښتو کې که راته ترجمه کړې موږ خپله د انګلیسي نه داسې خالي څه په پوه سو یو مفهوم یې راته ووایه.
وروسته یې درته ترجمه کوم. ویلې موږ د اسلام او د طالبان اخلاق نه داسې متاثر شوم. تاسو ته وروسته ترجمه کوم وروره، دا اوس نیسم کوئ.
مننه کور ودان الله دې عزت وکړه، الله دې قدر وکړه. مننه مهرباني.
مننه. محمد اکمال خان سنگرواله کسه لري ووایه ورونه موږ دا لایف قطع کوو بیا.
السلام علیکم ډاکټر صاحب، تاسو ته او وحید الله صاحب سلامونه وړاندې کوو. نو ډاکټر صاحب څه ووایي؟
ووایه وروره هر څه ووایه. مبارز محمد مبارز وروره مهرباني وکړئ.
السلام علیکم ډاکټر صاحب محترم، زما سلامونه تاسو ته و د لایف ګډونوال ته ټول ته سلامونه وایم، او زما سلامونه مخصوصا و د ستاسو تخنیکي همکار ته داسې ګمنام قهرمانانو ته وایم. ډېره مننه در څخه کوم ستاسو څخه چې مخصوصا داسې مېلمانه مو راوستله. ډاکټر صاحب دا ستاسو مبارزه واقعا ډېره غټه مبارزه ده، په غټه سترګه ورته ګورو، او ستاسو څخه نور هم د خدای تعالی څخه توفیق غواړو چې تاسو نور هم دغسې وکړئ. ډاکټر صاحب د دا رقم خلکو راویستنګه د ډېرو خلکو زړه غواړي خو نشي کولی، نو تاسو چې داسې په دغه کار وتوانېداست ډاکټر صاحب دا به و دا نورو خلکو ته به یو رقم ښه پیغام، او ستاسو څخه بیا هم ډېره مننه کوم. فقط هم د دغه دپاره بیا هم راغلو چې ډاکټر صاحب فقط دغه ته ناست وو، په ترجمه یې نه پوهېږو، لیکن بیا هم چې تاسو د خیره سره موږ ته
وروسته انشاءالله دی به ټول درته ترجمه کوو، ویډیوګانې ورنه جوړو ترجمه کوو. نن د ده خبرې په ما ډېر سخت اثر وکړ. فقط زما هیله ده چې هر چیرې یاست د طالبانو نه حمایت وکړئ. د طالبانو حمایت وکړئ، طالبانو په حقه ده. هغه خلک دنیا په شهادت وایي. طالب نه حمایت وکړئ. مننه وروره، مننه. پاک الله مو مل. ورونو تاسو نه یو نړۍ مننه. پاک الله مو خوشحاله سوکاله لره. د طالبانو د اسلامي تحریک نه او د امارت اسلامي نه دفاع وکړئ. په خپل لیکلو، په خپل قلم، په خپل کمنټ، په خپل میسج، هر شی مو چې له توانه کیږي د طالب حمایت وکړئ، د طالب سره مینه وکړئ، د طالب سره محبت وکړئ. که طالبان چیرې هم تاسو باندې سختی کوي، د سختیو سره مینه وکړئ. طالبانو تاسو ته په 21 پیړۍ کې ستا خاورې بیرته درته وګټل او تا ته عزت بیرته راوړ او تا ته عزت بیرته در وګټل. ژوندۍ دی اسلام، تلپاتې دی افغانستان. هر چیرې چې یاست خوشحاله سوکاله او آباد اوسئ. والسلام علیکم ورحمت الله وبرکاته. پاک الله